figured I might as well make a video about this thing. I've had it for, I got 150 hours on it now. It's the Kioti CK2610 SE with the loader. It's a hydrostatic. I'm going to go over a couple reasons of why I decided to go this route. I bought it brand new. I have worked the ever-living snot out of it. And that is why the cab's never clean. But anyways, I went this route mainly because the picking capacity for the chassis size is pretty good. It's like 1,900 pounds. And I can move big round bales around, 4x4s. You know, I moved tons of cornstalk bales and stuff. It's not a machine you're going to want to be loading a semi with, but you can unload them off the semi, move them around, stack them in the barn, and get by pretty good. I got ballast in the tires, and I got a counterweight that I throw in the back when I'm moving heavy stuff. But it does good. This has been a good little machine. Comfortable cab. You know, this thing is what I like to call my happy places where I de-stress in my little mini tractor pretending to be a farmer. But anyways, went Kioti route because Kioti used to be, I can't remember if they were Department of Kubota or what. So, but anyways, it's very similar to a Kubota, but the thing where it will always have Kubota beat, I don't care what anybody says, that forward back pedals right there instead of that stupid rocker pedal. Excuse my Crocs, it's after 7. But anyways, that's my forward back, those pedals. The stupid Kubotas have a rocker pedal that goes, and I don't like that near as much. It's just kind of goofy, especially in reverse. Like you just like got to kick your heel down in it, kind of goofy. Coming from having skid steers, these are mediocre. They work okay. They kind of fight you sometimes. You know, I'm used to skid steers that have the automatic, you know, quick attach stuff on it. We'll go into the main reason why I went with this machine and why I went with the 2610 instead of like, I think they got like a 4010 and a 5010, which is 40 horse. They have a 30 horse, a 40 horse, and a 50 horse, all in the same chassis, same transmission, everything. But if we get into it, yeah, loader arms are kind of in the way. If you're any bit familiar with Kubota engines, you'll recognize this injection pump style right here. A little cam-driven, you know, injection pump style. It's the same as, I cannot remember the motor size off my, or the Kubota name of the engine offhand, but it's, I mean, parts are interchangeable on this. The other big thing is being under 25 horse. So this is the same displacement as the 40 and the 50 horse. They just turn them way back. But it's not really a slouch. But the biggest thing, this baby is emissions free. Nothing. No AGR, no DPF, no regen. And something I see a lot in my industry is these smaller tractors that don't get worked hard and hot a lot. They, you know, they get fired up, they move a couple bales and they shut off, or they, you know, do stuff like that. That is a terrible life for an emissions controlled engine. Emissions controlled engines suck. They suck anyways, but the thing that makes that suck even more is that's not an ideal situation. The ideal situation is to get them warmed up, get them hot, and keep them hot all day long. You know, be under full load and full throttle. And that's not the life these tractors will do. And I knew going into this, this is mostly just, this thing spends more of its, with the pallet forks on it, has the bucket. It just moves stuff around for my business and loads trucks and dinks around and things like that is what it does most of it. I do use it for some side little dirt work stuff, pull a plow and a disc and all that. But yeah, so far I've been really happy with this tractor. It's 100% mechanical. It's the only thing I liked, was you're pretty much buying an old style, tried and true. If you watch my 7.3 videos, I'm big on kind of that I guess you could say classic technology. There's no computers, all mechanical, all the hydraulics, everything, valve bodies, all that stuff. There's no computers, nothing crazy. The only computer I got in that thing is a stupid seat switch that shuts off when I forget to set the parking brake. Road speed's pretty good. You got your 3 gears, 3 main gears, and then you got your hydrostats. You got pretty much infinite gears. It does have, this is funny, the stupid sales rep, not stupid, he's a nice guy. The guy I said, what is this right here? This looks like cruise control. He goes, oh, that just sets your throttle. No, that sets your throttle. This is a cruise control. You can turn it on, and then you can hit set like cruise control, and it'll hold your pedal where you want it. So you got infinite amount of gears. I'll try and throw a couple videos on the end of this of working with this thing and how it's worked out for me. It's done pretty good. I've done a lot of plowing. The big thing for me was the skid steer versus, because I had an old Bobcat skid steer, and the guy came in and bought it from me for a pretty decent price. I let it go. I wanted a cab machine. That Bobcat didn't have a cab, and it seems like every time that I have something without a cab, somebody asks me to plow snow. So this time I was like, nope, got AC, got a radio, got a heater. If I'm plowing snow, I'm doing it in my underwear. So, but this is a big comparison that I think a lot of people run into is, do you go tractor or skid steer? The big thing, one of the big things is price. Skid steers are twice as much as these. I mean, but they sell good. There's always a market for a skid steer. You know, they definitely have their place. They can pick up quite a bit of weight. They're a little more versatile. The thing I run into with this one is it's too tall for my little barn. But other than that, you know, I went tractor. The main reason why I went with a tractor is because I kind of wanted a JCB skid. They didn't have any at the time when I was kind of shopping. Plus, in reality, I don't make enough money off this thing to justify a $70,000 skid steer. But the big thing for why I went tractor is because we loading trucks and using this for all my little stuff around the shop. I need to be able to get out with arms up in the air, and that's one thing that you can't do with most skid steers, and that was a big deal for me. So the big thing was price. The second thing was you cannot buy a new skid steer that's not emissions controlled. They all have emissions of some sort. They're all higher horsepower, and that's why they meet that mandatory rating for the EPA. I could buy this under emissions because in the reality of things, you can turn this pump up to make that 50 horse that the bigger ones do without emissions. I'm going to let my warranty expire first. And I'm not really hurting for power in this thing, not going to lie. It gets around pretty good. So the big thing is that the no emissions. I wanted something all mechanical, no computers, price, and then being able to get out without having the cab. And the other thing too is I do like having a 3-point, you know, a 3-point and a PTO. I have implements I run off that. Another thing where I went with a tractor is footprint on sod and landscape and stuff. I can do stuff around the house and not just absolutely shred everything I run over. So that's why I went that route. Don't get me wrong, there's times I wish I had a skid steer, but when it comes to pricing and all that nonsense, that's why I ended up going this route. So I'll throw some my brother-in-law's old skid steer. That baby's ancient. But anyways, I'll throw some other videos of that tractor doing some plowing and how it pulls and things like that. I got a little ballast up there. See, I kicked up my speed. I mean, she'll pull right through it. Not bad for just a little horsepower unit, you know? Get a good video here. Well, she's finally loading up. That's an 8-foot box plow pushing pretty wet. Oh, I don't know, 6-7 inches of snow. I got it in the medium range. You can keep her loaded up pretty good. He just keeps on pushing.